Hi and welcome to Cut the Kibble. I'm Paula and this is Miss Bella, my 11-year-old Bichon that I've been cooking for most of her life. Hey, it's 2021. I'm going to be cooking with a new protein and a new recipe, and I'm actually going to include the recipe in comments, so stay tuned. Before I start, the new protein is going to be pork. And before I get going, I want to say with home cooking, you have to be efficient. I just came back. I had to drive 45 minutes one way to take her to a vet because she's getting some cold laser treatment on her back paw. So before I left the house, I put a pork tenderloin. It was 1 pound, 6 ounces in a slow cooker with a little celery on the bottom so it wouldn't stick, and a little water. And I put it on low for 4 hours. When I came home from the vet, it was done. I had my lunch first, I answered some of your DMs, and now I'm cooking. So that's how you use your time efficiently. Home cooking, you can do it. You just need to manage everything. Okay, so we're gonna get started. So I haven't done pork because I've always heard some bad things about pork, and they put a lot of junk in it, and you know, you can't, some pork is coming from China, whatever. But I found a really good brand. I love this brand. It's called Nature's Promise. I get my own, chicken from them, and it's dripping. It cost $6.38 for a pork tenderloin that was 1 pound, 6 ounces. And the only ingredient in it is pork. There's nothing else. There's not natural flavors, which we know is not natural. There's no rosemary. There's no, I don't know, liquid, whatever, broth. I mean, what's in that broth? It's just pork. So I am delighted to cook this for Miss Bella. All right, so we're gonna get started. Let's see here. I'm having to video up and down instead of horizontal because I'm trying to accommodate people who don't do YouTube, but I know the screen is a little off. So I don't really like pork per se because it's dry. I'm going to give her a little bit. Let's see here. It's not a moist meat. So I don't know if you can see over here. It was a pork tenderloin. I cut it up, and I'm going to put it in my food processor, which I don't know. I don't like it that much anymore. My food processor, because it's not that strong. And to help it blend, I'm going to add some liquid. In here, I have 1/4 cup of coconut oil and 4 ice cubes of bone broth that I made. It's around 1/4 cup. So I'm going to put that in here for the liquid as well. And I'm just going to blend this right now because, whoa, what are you eating, Bella? Oh, you want to get that turkey down here because I think this is going to not cooperate very well. Let's see what happens. Hold on. Well, it stopped. Oh, the top went off. Okay. Always hold on to your food processor. Okay, let me see, make sure you can see both her but this. All right. I think that looks good. That looks very good. I'll show you what the consistency is. It did a good job. Oops, some just went on the floor, and she'll get that later. So now to this, I don't really do measurements with you, but actually what I'm going to do first is put my seaweed calcium in. I've had a few of you ask me, you say, hey, I live in Canada. They don't sell animal essentials. Well, I'm contacting them right now to see how maybe you can get it. But this one person asked me, can I use eggshells? And I'm not a big fan of eggshells because for calcium to be absorbed in the body, it has to also have magnesium in it. So it could be utilized properly in the body. And this has that in it. I don't know about eggshells. So, you have to do some research to see what you can do. So, home cooking, you have to add calcium. I know Let me know if you live in Canada. I can tell you one other thing that you can get, but it's an all-in-one supplement, just not calcium. So it's 1 teaspoon per pound of protein, and this was a little over a pound, so I just did a heaping teaspoon. All right, so let me close this up. I get most of my supplements from Animal Essentials. Let me know if you want them, if you call them. They're very helpful. Carla answers all your questions. Tell her that Cut the Kibble Paula sent you. I'm doing my Cut the Kibble Omega Booster. It's a combination of flaxseed, pumpkin seed, and hemp hearts. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is put this top back on. And did I do that? I don't know. See, I don't want to do that. I want to put something else in there. Otherwise, everything's going to fly out. So what I'm adding now, I don't measure, but I measured for you today. This is a 1 cup measure. It has a 1/2 cup of roasted asparagus and a 1/2 cup of green zucchini. The best way would be to weigh things because, you measure. Am I pushing it down or what? So, okay, so I'm going to now put the top on it just to mix it a little bit more. Pulse it. Just want to pulse it. There you go. So now I want to add, I always add either butternut squash, pumpkin, or sweet potato. I just did a review of Dr. Harvey's new food, and I am really unhappy that they added all 3 plus carrots. No, no, no. Too much carbs turns to sugar, and sugar produces a yeasty dog. And what happens is a yeasty dog can have recurring ear infections. They'll smell like Fritos. Their feet will smell like Fritos, and they'll itch like crazy. But I do like to put a little carb in. I would never combine all 4 or even 2 of those foods that I mentioned. Well, one of them was carrots I didn't mention. So I'm going to put a nice generous spoonful, that's like a 1/4 cup of pumpkin in here. And I'm doing pumpkin today because I want to get rid of this pumpkin. I have 2 cans open in the refrigerator. And then I have a 1/2 cup of blueberries and 2 sardines. I'm going to give her a little bit because she's my little girl. Yeah, she's my little girl. And then I have my 5% of beef heart and beef liver, which I am totally out of. So I need to go buy some more. Find out where I can get my beef heart. Last time I went to the butcher, but that's pretty expensive. I don't really want to do that this time. And I only use 1 fruit, and it's always blueberries because of the antioxidants. But I just bought pears, a lot of pears. I don't know why I did it. So I'm going to add a pear to this. I wouldn't add a lot of fruit. Let me say that again. I would only add blueberries. On occasion, you could add more fruit, more meaning just 1 more. But I wouldn't do it all the time because fruit also has sugars in them, right? So I'm going to cut this up. I'm leaving the skin on. The skin has a lot of vitamins in it as well. Okay, and 1 more. And of course I have to give Miss Bella a little, but since she's eating it straight as a pear, I'm going to take the skin off for her. Okay? Yeah, you like that, don't you? I think I put everything in there that I wanted. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a little water, because again, this is dry. Maybe that's like a 1/4 cup. And I'm going to go ahead. I didn't put garlic in this. I forgot to put garlic, so don't worry about it. You forget, you forget. No big deal. So I'm going to mix this up. So let's see what it looks like. It looked beautiful. So now people are complaining because I'm not doing start to finish. So I'm gonna do that with you right now. We're gonna move down here and just give me a second and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this off of here and I'm gonna find my big spoon. Okay, so this is what I do. I have a scale. On my scale, I have a piece of towel so the scale doesn't get dirty. And now I'm gonna turn the scale on with the measuring spoon, measuring half a cup on there so that it's not weighing the measuring cup. Now, Bella's 13 pounds and she gets a half a cup, which is 4 ounces, twice a day of food. So what I do now is I get the food and I put it in here. I make sure that it's on ounces and pounds. It goes grams too. These scales are not expensive either. I think I spent like less than $15 for it. And it's 3.9 now. So I'll just put a teeny bit more in there. It's 4.0, and then hold on, let me go get her dish. 1 second. So I don't feed her out of a dog dish. I use a regular dish. I make sure that it's not from China. And this one's from Italy. And this is what I feed her out of. I never do metal dishes. Okay, so you put that in there and let's show you what it looks like. Can you see how nice that is? I may even add a little water to that when she eats it. And I always heat up her food before she eats it. Let's talk about that. Do you want to eat cold food? I don't think so. That's the #1 problem with people that feed raw feeding. I'm hearing a lot that the dogs are not doing well with it, because it's like cold or cool food sitting in their stomach and it's just fermenting and they're getting acid reflux. And I'm just not a big fan of raw feeding. But somebody said, can I feed the food cold? And my answer is, do you want to eat your food cold? No, I don't think so. Plus, when you heat it up, it just smells better. Now, I heat my food up in the microwave. You know, it's like 33 seconds. In the morning, I add supplements. Now, some people don't like microwaves, and they're going to do it on a double boiler. Go for it. I can only do so much, and you can only do so much. That adds a lot of time. So, and don't judge me, and I won't judge you, okay? So, that's it from start to finish, 2021. New protein, pork, but it's just pork in it. So, anyway, that's it from Cut the Kibble. Tell my friends about you. Follow me on Instagram and on YouTube. And if you want one-on-one coaching, that's new for 2021 for Cut the Kibble. You can email me at cutthekibble@gmail.com. I'll send you an input form, and we can have a 1-hour one-on-one. Ask me all your questions you want, because I know this can be overwhelming, okay? All right, that's it. Take care now.